Hey, I am on the road this week, so I am not in my usual Mexico attire, and that is because I just spent some time in New York City. I was invited there to a mastermind with some other business owners and even see my name in lights. And something crazy happened that I want to share with you because a huge gratitude came out of it that made me realize, oh my gosh, every coach, consultant, and expert needs this. And that is the fact that even while I was traveling and masterminding and being on Times Square, I was also kicking off 4 new clients in those couple of days that I was there. And this is because our CEO system for client acquisition is humming in the background of my life. And so I was able to welcome these new clients with systems because I had a plan in place. In the past, when I was just my own kind of one-on-one coach and I was welcoming clients into my one-on-one practice, I wouldn't have been able to be in New York, be busy, and see 4 new high-paying clients in just a week, less than a week. So I want to share with you today one of the systems that made that possible. My name is Hannah. I'm the CEO of Dream Life Consulting, where we help coaches, experts, and service providers grow their business to 7 figures using our systems for client acquisition, sales, and scaling. And the topic of the day, the thing that I think so many amazing coaches overlook, is a kickoff call. Like how to actually bring people into your program regularly, systematically, while still maintaining a high level of personalization and intimacy. And it's because I have this kickoff call script that I'm going to share with you today that I was able to literally be on the subway and have the team say, hey, Hannah, do you have time for 2 more clients? They want to get started today. And me be able to say, yes, I will be there in an hour, get them on my calendar, send me their link. And I knew exactly what to do. Again, in the past, when it was just me, first of all, I was doing all of my own sales calls. I was kind of convincing people and just like hoping that they would say yes. And then I would say, okay, let's just start booking calls on my calendar. And I just didn't have a plan until I started to think like a CEO. And this is when I started to think about systems and processes. And honestly, I was just at a place in my own coaching journey that I was sick of repeating myself so much. It's like, okay, I've said this same spiel to everyone. They all need to hear it. How can I start to remove myself from the day-to-day and just get them into action, get them results faster? And having a strategic kickoff call is something that a lot of coaches overlook because they think, okay, I need to like give them exercises or homework or have them journal, or I just need to get them on my calendar so we can start the coaching journey. And when I was doing that, I was much more of like a maid to my clients because there weren't really any expectations. I was just available, and then I was busy all of the time and kind of at their beck and call. And so this is one of the systems that has really allowed me to be in the world and enjoy my life and not feel like I have 7 clients who are like my boss telling me they need something or reaching out to me when I don't have my coaching hat on. It's helped so much with like mental compartmentalization. And that's so key. I always talk to our clients about mental real estate. And when you are an expert at something, a coach or a consultant, you have a huge part of your brain that needs to be in that zone of genius space. But then you realize you also have to be wearing the business owner hat, and you have to figure out Calendly and like how to schedule people, and then also like how to get them to communicate or like even stay accountable to you. Systems have saved me mental real estate and allowed me to get into the world, do epic things joyfully, actually be present while still growing my business. And so, yes, this is a template of how to host a kickoff call, but I also hope that this inspires you to explore some of my other videos and really start thinking about how can you remove yourself from either the marketing weeds that bog you down when you're just stuck thinking about what reel should I create, or should I make a mastermind or a quiz, and like all those marketing weeds, or you're so deep in the weeds of like thinking about how do I organize my schedule? What is my identity? How do I present myself? Like, who am I? Right? So that's like the identity, the being headache. Or you can be in the like admin, logistical, how do I do this headache? Or maybe you're so far into your program, like you're building a course and no one's buying it. And you're just like, man, I built this amazing thing. I still don't know how to get people in. Well, this kickoff call is the solution to all of those things because I'm going to show you how you can set expectations so clients aren't bothering you for every little question and they actually get results. I'm also going to help you alleviate the whole worry about, am I just booking one-on-ones on my calendar? How do I set them up for this program? I'm going to show you how you organize that from day one so they can just be getting results, not nagging you. And then also you're going to see how this can be very administratively savvy. So again, you're not worried about the tech and the links and the calendars, but you simply get to show up in your zone of genius and get to the coaching piece. The more that we can simplify the systems and the business headaches, the more you get to show up and shine. Whether that is writing books or speaking on stages or traveling like me, I know coaches have so many dreams and goals above and beyond just getting clients in the door all of the time. But we need to get clients in the door all of the time so that you have what I call a base of abundance where you're actually getting paid and you know people are coming in. And again, you're not just asking yourself, where is my next client coming from? But you can elevate to ask yourself better questions like, how do I get on a New York Times billboard, perhaps? Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to take you right into my office and screen share so that you can implement this kickoff call template for your next clients and avoid fulfillment headaches, tech headaches, admin headaches. Let's get into it and solve those problems. This is straight out of my office. This is exactly what I give clients as well to make sure that they are fully equipped for welcoming new clients with ease and abundance. And as I mentioned, this is one of the most powerful but most overlooked parts of your entire coaching and client relationship. This isn't just about giving them a quick, hello, welcome in, here's my calendar, but this is actually the client's first real experience with you as their coach and starting the transformation that they have invested high ticket in. So if we have some empathy and we think about the people who have said yes to working with us, we can imagine that there's some feeling of excitement, hope, nerves, and even doubt. And if you yourself have invested in programs, you know the feeling and honestly how easy it can be to go into buyer's remorse. So I think about the healthcare system a lot, somewhat because I used to be a health coach and my business partner was a med school dropout. And if you've heard me talk about this in other videos, we know that coaching is a lot like medicine, and that when you start out, you're kind of like the nurse and you do one-on-one bedside help, and you're just kind of there for your first few clients, like whatever they need to save their life, I will administer to them. And if you think about a nurse giving someone a shot, even if it's for a good thing, there is a lot of emotion that can come up. And so you don't want to just throw people into the surgery or throw people your vaccine without giving them a little bit of a pep talk and setting some expectations. So this first call is going to help everything that comes next. Doing this well is going to make your fulfillment in your program head and shoulders above any other experience or nurse that they have seen. So it is necessary. Like, I think even if you have just a one-on-one offer right now, or you've never even had a client before, implement this. Start now. I wish I had been doing this 10 years ago. Now I've iterated and you can just like jump ahead to the level that I'm at so you can build trust and momentum. Because when clients feel seen, celebrated, and guided from day one, they're more likely to stay committed and actually do the work, because we know that coaching is not a linear journey. They're going to go through growth and change and transformation, which brings up hard things. It's not all sunshine and roses when you decide to change your life. And so we want to equip them with that understanding so they don't quit when or if it gets hard or messy. The other thing that you're going to accomplish on this call is positioning yourself as the true leader and guide. So, by setting clear expectations, introing your structure, and offering the right support, means that you're not just a cheerleader and they're not just like, oh, I hope this works out, or maybe I'm going to test this out for a few days and then quit if my husband finds out, but they're actually even more invested. So I honestly think of a kickoff call like a second sales call because you're sealing the deal. You're overcoming any buyer's remorse that might be in the back of their mind, and you're just getting them into action, into doing the thing instead of thinking about doing the thing, which we know as transformational leaders and coaches, people's mindset is key to your coaching actually sticking. So this is going to help them feel more confident in the sale, in their investment, because people still might have that, like, am I in the right place? Remember, like, maybe I'm just going to test this out. This is going to show them, hell yes, this is in the right place. I'm in the right place. This is exactly what I've been looking for and how I want to be treated, honestly. So this is going to help them actually get results. All of these things together, it's not just about this one client getting results. It's going to help that on the individual level, but it's also about protecting your business. Coaches, we need to be getting people results to stay in business. We can no longer just exchange Zoom time for money and think that makes us a coach or think that we're going to be able to do this 2 years from now. We need to be getting people results. So for your business, you want clients to see wins quickly so they're more likely to stay, finish the program, not quit. Refer other people. That's the best when that happens. Be a great testimonial for you and extend their time with you. So I talk to our clients about when we build their client acquisition systems, I tell them selfishly, we don't just want to bring you clients who are going to stay for 3 months and then churn. So we're always working with our clients to help them think about the lifetime value of a client and how you actually retain, because it's much easier to keep clients than it is to always be getting new ones. So again, kickoff call is going to help you increase your retention, your referrals, and your reputation. And this is going to be a massive catalyst for both your income and your impact as a coach. So what do we do? Let's get into the template. I want you to screenshot this and be taking notes so that you can take this outline into your Google Drive and into your company and your culture and make it your own. But I've done my best to make it as plug and play as possible so you can see how you can accomplish this in 30 to 60 minutes, just like I was in my hotels in New York, just rinsing and repeating, showing up, shining, not questioning myself, not making up new rules, not changing everything for every client, but just following a proven system. So, the first thing we're going to do is welcome and normalize the journey in the first 5 minutes. You probably already do this on coaching calls. I know I have the habit of asking every client, "Hey, welcome in. How you doing? Tell me what's new and good." And getting into that habit, now my clients know to come to calls prepared. Like, Hannah's going to ask me what's new and good, so I should be ready to report that. So you're probably already in some sort of practice or routine with your coaching clients. So do the same thing on kickoff calls. Welcome them in and ask them, how are you feeling? This is such an important question because many of you are doing emotional selling where people have felt something based on you, based on their client journey to get to you, based on their reason to invest. It's oftentimes emotional. So we want to get those feelings out. We don't want them to sit on potential buyer's remorse. So ask them how they're feeling and then let them know that is totally normal. I always tell clients, like, if you weren't a little bit afraid, I would be worried because you are deciding to make a change, right? It's just us getting out of our comfort zone that creates fear, anxiety, overwhelm. I want you to actually be feeling all those things because it means you're on the cusp of change. You've decided to do something new. This is good. And sometimes I'll share a story. We just enrolled one of our CEOs. Her name is Natasha. She's a Native American and she works with Indigenous people. And she was really nervous about joining this program because the money mindset of the clientele that she works with, she's like, I just don't know if I can really charge high ticket. Everything you're saying, Hannah, works, but you don't work with Indigenous people specifically. And so I sometimes use that story to just say Natasha was really worried and even had like valid financial concerns. But what we did with Natasha was get her in and get her client so that she could see how this works. And this is why we always say in our program, action brings clarity. Because in her first month with us, Natasha turned around and got a $6,000 client. And we know that's possible for you too, but you have to feel the fear and do it anyway. Right. So if someone shares their emotions or how they're feeling, I'll just try to think of a client and say, hey, Natasha was feeling like this too, or Stacy was feeling like this too, and make them feel like they are still in the right place, even if they're nervous. So we want to reinforce that you don't have to be perfect. It's okay if you feel nervous. Action brings clarity. You're here. Let's get to work. I just need you to be committed, because then everything else is figure outable. So let's get into it. Here's an example script if you didn't get what I said, but I know you can multitask if you're watching this. So I'm going to move down to point number 2, which is around reviewing any pre-work or welcome homework that you may have sent them. So I know a lot of coaches, especially at the beginning, they might say at the end of a sales call, okay, I want you to go home and think about what you want to achieve in the next 6 months. Or they'll have them, do some sort of mindfulness meditation practice. For us, we have very structured welcome homework that we need everyone to do, because it honestly creates the North Star. Our program is completely personalized, so it's not like we all do the same thing. So I do need to have them come to this kickoff call telling me how much does their lifestyle cost, what is their dream, what is their ideal outcome. I have already created that in a Loom similar to this that I have them complete before coming to the kickoff call. So you also might want to think like, what can you have them do after they say yes before this call to keep them engaged, to get their mind in the right direction, to have them on purpose and already feel like I have something to do. So here's where you'll ask them about what came up in whatever exercises you gave them at the end of your sales call. And so for us, I usually just zero in on how are you feeling about being a CEO? Because our welcome homework sets them up to start having some mindset shifts to show up like a CEO, an actual business owner who doesn't just worry about where their next client is coming from, but builds something bigger than them. That's a CEO to me. So I ask them, how are you feeling about being a CEO? And I'll kind of just coach and reflect back like, that's so key. This is going to be really helpful. Here's a pro tip, or here's how another client was able to see what you're seeing from a different way. And if you don't have any welcome homework, then this might just be asking them, how are you feeling about getting started? How are you feeling about making this commitment in yourself? And if they didn't do the homework, or you didn't give them any, then this is the opportunity to explore, well, what has happened in the time between you making the decision and you showing up here? Coaching starts now. Okay. So another general prompt would just be, let's talk about your welcome homework. What stood out to you? What felt exciting or challenging? And again, get them talking, get them invested in this process so that you can help them in these future points get the most out of this kickoff call. Okay. Get them talking, hear where they're at so you can meet them where they are at. And we should really just be 10-ish minutes into the call at this point. So then I can transition to how to win here. People love to win. People love pro tips. And so I literally set the tone and say, here's how to get the most out of this. And over the years, I've accumulated 3 things that all of our most successful clients have. And you might think about this for your own program, right? Like your most successful clients, what have they done? Have they overachieved on the homework? Have they shown up to every single group call? Have they drank all their water and always taken their supplements? If you're a health coach, take some time to think like, how do people win with you? How do they get the most out of it? One of our coaches has a Voxer component where she lets people send her Voxer messages. And she was telling me how the ones who use Voxer every day are the best clients. And I said, okay, how can you make everyone be the best and have everyone use Voxer every day?
Well, set the expectation early and have it be clear that this is a co-created journey. I always say on our sales calls, this is a partnership. When we enroll someone into our program, it's not a course, but it's a partnership. And I tell them that to me, relationships are not 50-50. They're 100-100. And so that again sets the tone and creates this culture of co-creation in our business. So here's what I say on our kickoff calls, that these are the 3 ways to win. So for you, it might be like show up honestly, use Voxer every day, take messy action, ask for support, reach out. You'll have to think about the ways to win. But for us, this is it right here. I say, okay, first and foremost, we need you to show up as a CEO. And CEOs are not just here to hurry up and check the boxes and pass the test, but to actually understand, how does client acquisition operate in your business? Because we are not going to be here forever. I need you to come into this with a CEO high level mindset of actually understanding this, not just hurrying up to get through your check boxes that we give you. So what this means is we need you to speak up. We can only help you if you know you need help. So if we don't hear from you in 3 days, we are going to come looking for you. Because our program is a lot like work Monday through Friday, where it's like, if you don't see your colleague coming in and telling you like how things are going, then we're going to come looking for you because we want you to do the work and get the result as fast as possible. So please, if you have a vacation or an illness come up, just let us know so that we can tailor the program to meet you where you're at. And then ask questions. So it's not just about raising your hand and saying, I need help or I don't know what to do. We also, as a CEO, want you to ask questions and like critique and say, hey, are there ways we could do this better? Again, you're bringing 100%, we're bringing 100%. We can co-create here. So again, be in the conversation with us on Slack Monday through Friday. We are here for you. And then the last one I always laugh about, because we work with coaches, but I have to tell them to be coachable, because you have gotten pretty far in your life already. You're a whole, complete, amazing human, and we love you for that. And here you are the client. So let us pour into you. Be a tabula rasa. Be humble enough to have a beginner's mindset, because the people with beginner's mindsets are the ones who win the fastest, because the people who are stuck in their limiting beliefs, or they think they know everything, or they're not willing to try new things, those are the people that it just takes longer to get clients for. So let us pour into you. And honestly, think of this like grad school. So that's another little like mindset hack that I personally give all of our clients, because it worked for me, is to think of, the months that we work together, it is like adding on a credential or adding on a certification or taking night school. Again, you're whole and complete and you're good at what you do. So be willing to take some night classes, because then when we get you clients, you're going to be having an internship to work with those new clients on top of what you're doing. So we talk about this like grad school, and then throughout my kickoff call, I have this very like academic theme. I talk about like the overhead announcements being somewhere, and I talk about the classroom being somewhere, and I talk about office hours being somewhere. So this grad school metaphor actually runs through our entire program. And I say it on day one right here, like it's a big deal, so they understand the culture and how to win. Because again, this is what we see working. And this whole kickoff call is just about taking what's worked for your best clients and giving it to your new clients so they can become your best clients. Okay. So our next section now, when we're about 20 minutes into the call, is to clearly state expectations and commitments. So this is where you can outline your role as the coach and what they should expect from you. So this is where our coach who does Voxer says, okay, so I just told you to use Voxer every day. Here's what you can expect from me. I'll be checking Voxer between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday, and I'll get back to you within 2 hours of your message. Those are my working times that I'm available for you. And I'll be bringing, they're able to set that up in their kickoff call. And then also making sure that they understand how to use the resources. So this is a little bit different in our program, because I am able to just talk about each resource, each system as I get them logged in, and I tell them how to use it the best way. So for you all, again, think about what tools do they need? What can they expect from you? And what do you want them to know day one? So maybe you had some leaky boundaries in the past where clients would call you or abuse your time or run over the sessions. Well, this is your time to clearly communicate. All of our Zoom sessions are exactly 60 minutes. I will end the recording, so be sure to respect your time. It's so much easier to get out ahead of it and just say, this is when I'm available. These are my boundaries, than have leaky boundaries in an awkward client situation down the road. If you haven't gotten there yet, yay, let's avoid it. If you know what I'm talking about, here is your solution. So explain what their role is and what to expect in return. And then also talk through communication cadence, depending on how you work. This is going to be different for everyone, but this is all about boundaries. Pro tip to just be honest and call it that in your conversation. And then our fifth piece is to get them logged in. So again, if you have Voxer, make sure that you pull it up and you're like, okay, I see your name. Okay, I'm going to send you a message right now. For us, we get them logged into School and our Classroom. For us, we get them logged into Slack and our Classroom, and we get them booking some one-on-ones with our team, and we get them signing up for the software that they need to grow their accounts on day one so that they're in and I can troubleshoot. We do work with some boomers, and it's so much more helpful to just iron out tech questions from day one than let them go try to figure it out on their own. So I take the time now to make sure they know how to use all of the resources. And if you also have some sort of accountability tool, which I highly recommend, you do have weekly accountability. I do have another video about this to help you make sure that you are tracking their progress, having them submit weekly accountability. And of course, they know how to access any replays or modules if applicable. So tell them how to use it. Make sure they know how to use it. Don't set yourself up for a bunch of "help me, I'm lost in technology" messages in the coming days and weeks. Sort it out now so that you can finalize with a ton of clarity. So the sixth step here is to give them any homework. So here's where you'll assign clear, doable action items for the week based on their goals and what you guys have set out to achieve together. And remember, I always tell our clients, look, at the beginning, there are more homework assignments. There are more boxes that you need to check because we need to get these things out of you. And the faster we can get this out of you, the faster we can translate it into our systems and get you paying clients in your first month. And so I always connect what they're doing to the bigger why. This is coaching 101. You don't just ask people to do stuff for the sake of doing more stuff, but you have to give them the vision and the why. So, okay, here's a generic example. Your first steps this week are to track your sleep, take pictures of all of your food, and weigh yourself one time this week. That's an example for a generic health coach. These may seem simple, but they are powerful because this is what's going to create our baseline so that then we can build from there, right? Just coaching 101. Set the foundation, connect it to their vision so that they get into action and do what you need them to do right out of the gate. No questions, no hesitations, just on purpose. Because then you're well positioned to set the tone for the journey and remind them the things that you need them to know, like the mindset nuggets. Okay, so I already mentioned one mindset nugget I give our clients around, think of this like grad school. So you also know some of the things that just make people do better, right? So maybe this is where you make sure they understand the law of attraction, or you just remind them change takes time, but small, consistent action is going to add up to big results. Let them know that you will challenge them, but that's part of your job. And growth is not easy. If growth were easy, everyone would be doing it all of the time, but you made a conscious decision to grow. So be here for the process. And then reaffirm your belief in them, right? Like, I'm so excited to get this going. I believe in you 100%. You're in the right place. Whatever phrases, again, you probably naturally say on coaching calls, get them indoctrinated into it on day one. So I always say something like this process isn't going to be easy or linear, but it is going to be worth it because we're going to be here with you every step of the way, and action brings clarity. If there was a cookie cutter example or a cookie cutter way to do this, you would have found it and I would have sold it to you. But the truth is, this is a partnership and we're in it together until it works. You're going to use our systems, you're going to bring our genius, and we're going to see those clients in the next couple of weeks, just as the beginning. So we can use the rest of our time to optimize and remove you from the day to day. Okay? So I know that these are the things that they need to hear, and I'm going to keep repeating to them. And then finally, right, it's just like, do you have any questions? Anything else I didn't answer? Again, make sure that you use this time to address their fears, clarify logistics, and celebrate them. So as you leave, I actually do this on Slack. I say, okay, my next step is to take all of this to Slack so you know exactly what to do this week. And I literally drop their to-do list, their personalized to-do list after our call. So for you, again, you're going to adapt this to just be a clean 30 to 60 minute end of the conversation, get to work. Here we are, off and running. And we have seen time and time again that these energies create so much momentum in your program. So I said this on other videos, but I have people telling me all the time, Hannah, like I'm here because I want your sales. I want my sales to feel like your sales. And then they get in the program and they're like, I want my program to feel like your program. And this is because we are strategic every step of the way. I'm not just hoping that the perfect people join my program and they're all high vibe and they all understand that action brings clarity and you have to celebrate your wins, yada, yada. I am actively creating good clients. And even as I coach, I am adjusting my kickoff call script so that I get my clients to all be those great clients. So this isn't necessarily a set it and forget it thing. I do hope that over time you use this structure to then optimize and improve and make it better and better so your clients can just be optimized and improved and get better and better results. This is how businesses grow. When you obsess about the client journey and the experience and the culture and the expectations and boundaries and like all the things that go into a good relationship, when you obsess about that same stuff for your clients, your job gets easier and easier and results become automatic in your coaching practice. So I hope you have a ton of notes and you honestly go block some time this week to create your own kickoff call script so that you're not surprised when you're in the middle of New York City and you have 4 new clients that need to get started immediately. You just get to show up and create great experiences. Cheers to growth. Let me know what questions you have in the comments, and I'll see you back here next week in a new location, probably in a new outfit. I'm traveling quite a bit this year, and I'm so excited to bring you along as I continue documenting what I'm doing in our business as we continue to grow and just be focused on growth. Cheers to growth. The better it gets, the better it gets.